Hey guys, what's up? How are you? Welcome back. Today we got a new and exciting episode of Toys in My Closet. And we're going retro, but modern. Today we're taking a look at the brand new Necelle Toys Sactaurs, Warriors of Symbion. And so Warriors of Symbion Sactaurs is basically a line they did very late in the late 90s, I believe, or middle 90s, late 80s, early middle 90s, something like that, during a time when all these toy companies were just trying so many different things with so many unique ideas. And I never collected Sactaurs. I liked the figures ever since I was little, the same way I liked in Centurions, because they were really big, beefy figures that had a lot of playability options with some pretty good articulation, but they were big, kind of like the Rambo figures, the Chuck Norris figures from Mission in Action. They were awesome, but because my mother, obviously, and dad weren't really financially, rich, they only bought me certain things to a certain extent. Not that I never got everything I wanted. And we weren't broke, to say the least. But when I was growing up, when you collected toys, it was basically, if you pick one toy, that's what you got, and you wouldn't get something for a while because, or you had to, get a good grades every week on your test in order to get it. Because, parents back in the day growing up, they really looked at toys as a waste of time, junk, especially Hispanic parents. They look at toys, this es una porquería, like it's garbage. They didn't understand the connection that kids had, especially because of the language barrier, because you would see cartoons and obviously they would have a lot of cool looking designs and aesthetics that you can mix and match with existing toys that you already have, because you could mix and match things like Centurion, things like the Rambo toys, and Sactaurs, even with Masters of the Universe. I think, even though they were a little bit smaller and stubby, but you were able to actually mix and match. So the creativity level and the imagination level was there for the playability factor. It was big, right? So Sactaurs was one of those toy lines that came out, had like maybe 9 main characters. It was a small line with like 5 or maybe 6 insect puppets that you could actually use with the insects on the top, and the bottom part was a part where you could open the mouth and things like that, and you flew the characters on the actual insect creatures, which was cool. It was different. It was unique. It was definitely different. And this here is Dargon, the main character, and he looks really cool. The paint job looks good. It looks like Necelle did a phenomenal job to bring him up to date and still look very aesthetically pleasing like the originals. And this right here is Stellara, which is one of the figures that was supposed to come out but never did, because by that time the line either died out or they weren't getting picked up by, local shops or toy shops, if you will. So the packaging is really nice, a big bubble window. These are 6-inch, even though they may look smaller on camera. The font Sactaurs, the original font, you see it says Necelle Toys, 14 and up, right? But these are not packaging that are, I guess, what you would call mint on card friendly. You see that they're sealed once, because that's how they were in the original. Once you open them, that's it. You can't reseal them. It's a wrap. And you see the weapons there and the name Dargon, Warrior Prince of the Shining Realm, Symbion, bravest hero, and then you turn it around and you got a nice bio and little history and the actual 3D rendering of the figure with the Sactaur up there, and then actual, what you call it, cross-sell with the 2 figures in the first wave, and then you even get points. So maybe those points are going to be used later on the way that Valaverse did to put it towards a specific unique character. You see him in this packaging. He looks really nice. Let's turn on the figure. Looks really cool with his gem. And the articulation looks like it's going to be a little limited, but better than what it was, obviously, for the vintage toy. So that is Dargon in packaging. And Stellara is probably going to be the biggest exciting one out of the whole wave, because she was never made before. It's the first time she's in the line. And you see the beautiful paint that it looks like right off the bubble with that purple and blue mixed match metallic. Her weapons are there, and then it says Stellara, okay, toughest warrior. Same thing in the back, par for the course, as you see. But either way, they look incredible. So we are going to take a quick look at the brand new sactaurs from Necelle Wave 1, Dargon and Stellara. Warriors of Symbion. Sit back, relax, enjoy a digital drink, and hopefully you'll be here and join me for the rest of the review and ride. I'll see you guys real soon. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be back in a blink of an eye. And here we go, guys. Here we are. Let's take a closer look at Dargon and Stellara. So we'll start off with Dargon and bring him in for a closer look. And as you can see, he has a really, really nice touch of golden hair. And his face has the blue eyes like it did in the original, with the gold insect-like tentacles, I guess, coming out of the front of his forehead. And you see the details in there. The only thing I wish they had a little bit more of a wash and kind of a matte finish as opposed to the glossy look, because it I feel kind of takes away from the detail. You can't really see it, but I think it was basically to pay homage to the original figure, because that's how it was. Because when we come into the body, look at that. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful paint job. Nice baby blue with that metallic sheen, with some nice dark highlights of black, which makes it look really, really nice and well executed, with the chain and that silver color is, molded on, not a separate piece. You see the black on, the actual arms, and then in the gloves, you see the details on the forearm gauntlet, and then the glove itself. You see the little bumps and detail there with the black shades. Then we got the belt, which is, I think it's removable. It looks like it's removable if you pull it from here. Yeah, it is removable. Okay, just trying to make sure. And you see that it's a nice matte finish with the blacks. You notice that the symbol is exactly like the one on the chain. It has the gun hilts there with all that detail. As you see, then in the back area, you see the buttocks area, same thing. The crotch area, same thing, all that muscle definition. Then on the legs, you see all the black with the red stripes. Then on the knees, going down with the boots, you see the boots got that insect-like look, going all the way down with the nice black washes, the baby blues, like I said, and that metallic looking sheen that it does. Sorry about that. And kind of dirt-like. So he looks awesome. Dargon looks awesome. He looks just like he did in the original toy, but in a new scale with new plastic quality. So as far as Stellara goes, because she's never been made before, same thing. Good face sculpt, nice golden hair, shiny, nice detail. The antennas going up from the hair and forehead line. You can see the red eyebrows, the blue, the pink on her lips. Again, I wish it was more of a matte instead of a gloss looking look, but to be honest, in person it doesn't look as glossy, but it is glossy. Then you see her bandolier going down, which connects completely to all this. There goes her holster in the back. Then she has the beautiful metallic blues with purples going down, as you can see. Very nice. With her skin tone showing in human skin, flesh, and then the forearm gauntlet with the Glove is that metallic baby blue. Crotch area with the hint of purple. The nice legs displayed. Then the boot itself, a lot thinner but very reminiscent to the one on Dargon, with some hints of purple and highlights, with that spikes coming on the back and that wonderful metallic baby blue. So she looks really cool. This is from the back, all the details, even on her actual belts, with another harness piece here on the side. So stellara looks also really nice in comparison to, Dargon, but in a different way. I don't know why she shows more human skin-like tones. I'm assuming that that's the way it was from the original concept design. So now we'll take a look at the accessories that they both, and each of them, have to offer. So as for the accessories, we'll start off with stellara. Here is her shield, looking really nice in that metallic gold and kind of bronze, kind of like you call it the penny color. A nice big peg for them to hold it. And then she comes with this nice looking double barrel shotgun in the sactaur style. The handle, a lot of nice detail, but all in that metallic gold, of course. And then this is her little knife, or dagger, if you will. All in the same color, because that's how it was in the original toys. It was all gold. And as far as Dargon goes, here's his classic shield with the classic symbol and the same gold, again bronze. There you go. And he brings his two pistols on the side, or that go on the side, insect-like pistols with a lot of detail, very reminiscent to the original. Like I said, he brings two of those. Then he brings his blade or sword, also very nicely detailed and sculpted, just in that bronze looking color. Then we have another weapon. I don't know if he brought all these weapons in the original, but I think he did. Funny thing is, you don't really know where to store them the way the stellara does, which is kind of weird. It has this like machine gun with all these details, the clip going backwards, facing the other direction, but looks really cool. Really, really nice. So, and fitting for the characters. There are the weapons for stellara and Dargon, respectively. So now let's take a look at the articulation. We'll start off with stellara, and the articulation is minimal, but it works. The figures feel nice and plasticky, like a good quality. Her head just goes left and right, no tilt, there's no back and forth. It's more to feel like the aesthetics of the original toy. Her hand goes up that much in the shoulders. Can spin 180 degrees. It has a single on the elbow for her. No, swivel there in that area. None. The wrist has a little swivel, of course. No hinging though. And her body was made and sculpted solid, so there's no waist or torso cut. And then, of course, you have the legs, which split very well, Van Damme style, and they kick up a nice amount. And then she has a single or kind of a double on the knee. There's no thigh swivel. And there's no thigh swivel, and there's no, what you call it, there's no like boot cut. It just simply has like a little bit of movement left and right. There's not even an up and down. So like I said, the range of articulation is very limited. It's mainly supposed to feel like the old school style figs, you know, and toys that they were from back in the day. But a little bit better than based off to the extended now. As far as Dargon goes, same thing, left and right on the head. There's no tilt. There's no down and up. The shoulder goes up about that much, less than stellara. It does go 180 degrees. It does have kind of a single bend. There's one in there and there's one underneath here. But it looks like a single, but I think it's a double. You have the hinge rotation on there, but no hinging on the hands. It's just the spin. He does have, in this case, he does have a waist swivel, which is nice. It's nice that he has it. And as far as his leg goes, he can do a really nice split, almost a Van Damme 100%. His leg can kick up that much, which is also really nice. Then you got the double for him. No thigh swivel, no boot cut swivel. There's no, you know, up and down, just mainly left and right, and no rocker either. Forgot to mention that with stellara. So yeah, as far as the articulation goes, that's it. It's the bare minimum, but enough for, you know, enough for you to, how you call it, have them displayed as best as you can. So now let's put the accessories on and see what they look like with the accessories. So here we have them with their accessories on. Now, to be honest, I really like the way that, you know, Dargon looks, but I think it's because having, you know, a connection with him, knowing him from back in the day, and, you know, him being more familiar as opposed to stellara. But again, you could also pose him a little bit better because he has a little bit better range of articulation. You see him with the sword, his shield, the two guns in the holster, but he has nowhere to store his other gun. So what I did, as you can see, because he has no other place to store the gun, I basically inherited it to Miss Stellara, because, you know, they're your figures. At the end of the day, you can do whatever you want, but because it also makes sense because there's nowhere else really to put it on him, so it'd be kind of stupid just to have it laying around. So here's Stellara. Even though you can't really pose her, she still looks cool because the harness, it's really cool looking, right? Her colors really pop. But here is the shield, and here is the gun that belonged to Mr. Dargon there. But I put it on her, and she has the official tissue here, shotgun holster, as you can see, and then the holster on the side for her dagger, as you can see. So I really feel like Stellara poses and looks a lot cooler because she has somewhere to store her weapons, as a, you know, a more efficiently, I guess, as opposed to Dargon, that not really. But the problem is, you know, you can't really pose her that much due to the limitations, obviously, of the articulation. To be honest with you, I think if the articulation for these figures to be a little bit better, these figures are really going to sell well and sell like hotcakes. But to be honest, there's a lot of people out there, believe it or not, that actually like just the simplified aesthetic or the 5 or 6 points art of articulation vintage style with a lot of these figures, which is wild to me, because that's what we had growing up, because you know, technology just wasn't there, right? But now that it is, and we see how many cool toys are being made, we are much more sophisticated with much more articulation. I would think that you would kind of wish to have figures like this that are from the past, look like they did in the past, but be way more articulated. So they may not be for everybody, but definitely the articulation is limited, but still on a shelf they're gonna look cool. So now let's do some comparisons with Stellara with some females, and then let's do some comparisons with Dargon with some male characters. So here we have Stellara next to the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Teen Titans, I believe, Donna Troy, and obviously the G.I. Joe Classified Series CoverGirl. And as you can see, the Donna Troy is like in the 7-inch row. Classified is supposed to be 6-inch, so Stellara is almost like in between those two scales. This is a little bigger than CoverGirl and it's way shorter than Donna Troy. Even though I'm feeling like Donna Troy is like 8-inch almost. So let's move Donna Troy out of the way, and let's move CoverGirl out of the way, and let's bring in 2 other female characters with the Jada toy, right? Street Fighter 2 Chun-Li, and the Masters of the Universe upcoming Netflix animation by Kevin Smith. Masters of the Universe Revolution Sorceress Tila. As you can see, again, difference in scale, more like in the 6, maybe 5.25 inch realm, and then Tila like in the 7 to 7.5 inch, in, or maybe 7, I think, or 6.5 in as far as the scale goes. So now let's take a quick look at Dargon with some comparisons with him. So here we have Dargon next to the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Spider-Man. I forgot the tech suit. This is one of the suits, and you can see how short he looks next to Dargon. And then obviously the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 original costume Ryu. Then let's bring in let's bring in let's see who else we can bring in. Let's bring in the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Mr. Freeze, right? Mr. Freeze. And the, I don't know, let's see, the G.I. Joe Classified Series low light. And there you go. See, low light is still shorter than him, and then Mr. Freeze kind of towers over him. So again, disparity in size are going to differ, but they still, you can still see that it still would display well with any of these figures. So there you go, guys. There is my comparison of with Stellara and Dargon. So now let's go to the end of the review. So here we go, guys. Here we have Stellara and Dargon in the spinner. And to be honest, my final thoughts on these figures are kind of a mixed bag, because they look aesthetically really, really beautiful. They look super accurate to the material, and they just look fantastic. But the problem is, me being so akin to the new style of figure articulation that can give you the possibilities and the abilities to do super poses and make them look super cool on shelves, kind of bothers me a little bit, especially for the price point, because although these figures feel super quality, the price point is kind of steep. I did get them at chubsywubsies.com, or Chubsy Wubsies in general, the store, because I went personally. But you can get them through their online site. They are available. These are from Necelle. And a really quick fun factor, Necelle are the guys behind the TV show or, documentary that they did called The Toys That Made Us, which I believe they did a couple of them. So they know toys, and they know how to, harp on and hit the chords and strings of the vintage style collectors that love toys, have collected since the late and early 80s to early 90s and middle 90s, when toys basically started to die out for a lot of people, and it wasn't the same anymore in that era, right? The golden era. But again, like I said, they look really wonderful. Paint job is nice. They feel good quality. They come with a nice amount of accessories, and the movement is not super terrible, but just limited, right? So for the $40 price point for each, it might be a turn off for some. And even, for me, I was kind of like, I don't know, because they were supposed to be originally $29 when I saw the pricing, but it was the wrong pricing. They were actually $39. So if Necelle could sell these maybe a little bit cheaper, I think people will be much happier. Like for $25, I think would be the sweet spot. Now, I did want to get them because I never had sactaurs, like I said, and I think they're going to fit really, really well with other lines. But I did turn into the investment because there are some 3.5-inch ones that I really wanted. They had like the whole set, but those are again 3.25 inch. These are more in the 6-inch line. Because I also like the fact that there's only like, I think 8 characters altogether. So it's something that you can kind of collect real quick, finish it, and you have your display of sactaurs. And maybe if they make some of the bugs, 1 or 2, you get it and you're good for a good little sactar display. Just like gargoyles with neck, I think. I'm pretty much done. I've seen 2 characters that I think are really cool coming out down the pipeline, which I might get. I'm not sure yet. Definitely one of them, but I'm done with gargoyles. I have them all. So I'm happy with what I have. So this is the same idea here. Just that, obviously they're a different brand and a different company. So I would recommend them, but I think the price is a little high, and I think because they're so limited in articulation, I don't think it's worth that price. But I do feel that the quality of the plastic is really good, will last you a long time, especially if you take care of them. So there's also that. So I don't know if I can highly recommend them. But I will say, if you're a Sactar fan and you had them when you were little, or you never got a chance and you always wanted to, this is definitely a good entry point into a new collection of Sactars that might tickle that elbow, so to speak. So guys, yes, those are my thoughts, my final thoughts on what I think, and my review on the new Necelle Toys Sactars, Dargon, and Stellara, which was never released, and now she's available for the first time. So give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. Give me a thumbs down if you did it. Share the video with someone you think might like it. As always, thank you for all of those and all of yous that continue to support me, because without you, my channel will not be sustained. It's pretty much that simple. And for all of you that are new, coming in, the influx of people that did subscribe for me this year and as of recent, thank you, because it means the world to me. I know you didn't have to, but since you did, just remember, I consider you now part of my family. You guys can find me at any social media outlet and platform. It's all down in the description below. If you guys ever want to donate anything to the channel, there is ways that you can do it. I would say just hit me up on DM and we'll work out the particulars. I'll be more than humbled, more than grateful to do so, to highlight it on my channel the way I did these figures here, and you know, and others, whether they may be video game related as well or pop culture. And finally, if you guys would like to help the channel directly, to help the channel grow and get better with better quality and better things to offer for you guys in the future, there's always a way you can help as well. Remember, it's not mandatory. It's only if you want to, from the kindness of your heart, and if you have the means to. If you don't, it's perfectly fine. But that information is also down in the description below. So guys, this is your boy Heba signing off with another episode of Toys in My Closet. This has been the Necelle Toys brand new Sactars Warriors of Avion, I think, or something like that. I'm sorry. I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep collecting, have fun doing it, but remember, be considerate to others, because we're still in trying times. Peace out, guys. Have a good one.